Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to start weaving on your loom. The first thing you're going to do is choose your yarn, and I would say take about 2 arm lengths of yarn at a time. If you get too much yarn, it's going to be way too complicated to keep pulling it all through. So just start with that amount. We can always add more into it. The second step will be to get your needle, which is located in the front of the room. Everybody is assigned a number, and there's a spot for you to get your needle out and put it away at the end of class, just so I don't lose a bunch of needles. Alright, so you're going to tie your yarn onto the hole of the needle, and then just set that aside. The next thing you're going to do is weave in a ruler. You can do this step if you want, or you cannot do this step, it's up to you, but this will kind of just expedite the whole weaving process. So what I'm going to do is weave in with a basic weave, which is under, over, under, over, under, over, and so forth. So I'm going to start by going over the first string, under the second, over, under, over, under, over, under. And I'll show you why this helps in a moment. Make sure you're only going over and under one string. If you mess up and accidentally go over 2 or over 1 in the wrong order, it will mess up your whole weaving. Okay, so just go back and check. Under, under. Make sure everything's lined up. Alright, so now just kind of push this up a little bit. The next thing you're going to do is actually start weaving in your yarn. And now you want to do it opposite of the ruler. So if you're right-handed, it's easiest to start on the right side. If you're left-handed, start on the left side. So your first row, I'm right-handed, I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to look at my ruler and see that I went over this first string. So to start, I want to go under. I'm going to go under and then over, basically opposite of the ruler. So you'll get to go through a couple, and then you'll need to pull your string through. Again, one reason you don't want a huge long string is because you'll be pulling forever. Leave a little tail at the end, just so that it doesn't pull through. Come back, and continue. So I went under, so I went over, under. And it can get kind of confusing to your eye, so sometimes you just have to stop and look. Make sure your threads stay straight. Okay, so I have one row finished. You want to then kind of push it down to the bottom. Then, this is where the ruler comes into play. To make yourself easier so you're not weaving with your non-dominant hand, you flip the ruler up kind of gently and push this needle through, just right through the center. If you did it correctly, it should be opposite of your first row and create your weaving. It's going to kind of look like a basket weave. Okay, so I have 2 rows of string there. And the ruler also helps by kind of pushing things down and getting them all nice and secure. Then you weave from your dominant side again, and you want to make sure you're going opposite. So you can see that the yarn here is over this last string, so you want to start by going under. Pull through a couple. It's really important that you don't yank on this, because look what happens. You can see that the thread starts to pull, and then your weaving will start doing this weird kind of shape. So keep everything loose, don't pull it too tight. Obviously you don't want a big loop here at the end, but you don't want to pull it tight or your weaving's going to get this weird like hourglass shape. So you're just going to keep going through, weaving in your dominant direction. Pulling it through. Push it down a little bit. And then again, lifting my ruler up. And just sliding it right through the middle, sending it right through. Pushing the ruler down and lining up my yarn. So you're basically just going to keep going back and forth until you need to change colors, or you need to start when you get to your letter or shape if you're doing that. When you get to a letter or shape, just come see me. It'll be easier for me to kind of conference with you one-on-one to show you how to do that. And once you finish your piece of yarn, you can just tie on a new piece. We'll just kind of hide the knot in the back and either change colors or continue with the same color. So you'll work on that today. At the end of class, you need to pull your ruler out because I need them for all the classes. You need to untie your needle and you need to put it back in the correct spot up at the front of the room. You also want to wrap any extra thread or yarn, around your board so that it's not all getting tangled with everybody else's. Okay. So remember, about 2 arms length worth of yarn to start with, tie it on your needle, thread in your ruler, and then use your needle again.